12 years ago tonight, the lives of dozens of families in a community forever changed. Flight 3407 crashed into a house in Clarence Center, killing everyone on board and one person inside that home. As 7 Eyewitness News senior reporter Eileen Buckley tells us, more than a decade later, the fight continues for one final piece of the puzzle to keep flights safe.
It's 12 years since the crash, and there's still one unfinished piece of business.
Karen Eckert of Amherst lost her sister Beverly when Colgan Air Flight 3407 crashed into a house on Long Street in Clarence Center, killing 50 people, including a passenger who was pregnant. Eckert and her brother visited a crypt at Forest Lawn Cemetery in Buffalo, where some of the remains of the victims are buried.
Sense of loss is just huge. Just huge.
The National Transportation Safety Board determined pilot error was to blame for the deadly crash, but Eckert and other family members turned their tragedy into a fight for air safety to strengthen FAA regulations and keep air travelers safe. In 2010, they were successful in getting a new law passed. It included requiring all commercial pilots to have at least 1,500 hours of in-flight experience before being hired. But Eckert says their fight isn't over yet, as the 3407 families call on the new administration to approve the final piece of the law, a pilot database.
The company doesn't know that, they're unable to hide past failures or something like the pilot of Flight 3407 did.
They want for the flying public what their loved ones who they lost were denied.
Congressman Brian Higgins, a Democrat, issued a bipartisan statement with Republican Congressman Chris Jacobs and Senator Kirsten Gillibrand calling on the new transportation secretary to approve this final air safety measure.
No good reason why this could not be put in place within 60 to 90 days. There's no good reason.
Do they want their loved ones in a plane with a pilot that's inexperienced?
Jennifer West lost her husband Ernie. Her daughter Summer was only 2 years old at the time. West says she believes powerful lobbying from the airline industry prevented the final safety measure from being approved.
Money can't tuck my daughter in bed at night.
West, Higgins, and Eggert all say it's a no-brainer to require a pilot database with other safety measures that are already working.
There hasn't been a fatal crash on a U.S. airline in 12 years.
12 years later, here at the former crash site, it's a memorial for the souls that died on Flight 3407. In Clarence Center, Eileen Buckley, 7 Eyewitness News.
And our Flight 3407 Remembrance coverage continues online. Right now, on our WKBW Facebook page, we have a special tribute to the victims and families impacted by this tragedy.